Hi, so today we have Alyssa from Sustain the Mag. Thank you so very much for meeting up with me. Basically, we're just going to chit chat about Sustain, your role there, and kind of what you guys do to make your communities better.
Awesome.
So I guess first, if you could kind of tell me a little bit more about Sustain and how it came to be.
So Sustain the Mag was actually started by a girl named Reza, a fellow St. John's student, and she basically wanted to create a website that didn't really exist in the mainstream media that we see today, and she wanted to create a platform where we could like normalize the term sustainability and kind of present it in like a more modern and like relatable way for 2019.
Yeah, so like with Sustain, your overall mission is to really bring sustainability to the forefront.
Yes, we want to try to normalize it, and so that way everyone can realize that like sustainability is for everyone, and it's not just for like rich people in California. Like anybody can partake in sustainable practices. And so on our website we have 3 sections: wellness, style, and food. And then also we care, because we do like to talk about social justice as well, because social issues are very much a part of the sustainable conversation that I think everyone should be having. And through our website, we basically just want to educate our readers and also kind of just immerse them in like actual ethical and inclusive reporting.
That's really awesome. You guys definitely do a lot between the food, which I really personally love to read, and the style section is awesome. What do you exactly do at the organization?
I started out actually as just a writer, and Reza actually sent a post on Instagram like a year ago before we was even like a thing, and she was calling for writers and people just interested in like saving the planet basically, and I was like, oh, me, okay. So then I got back to her and I started out as a writer, and I mostly wrote for wellness, and then we started off with a pretty small team, and I saw that Reza like definitely could use some more help. So I asked her if she wanted me to take on the role of wellness editor. And so now for each of the sections, they each have their own editor, and I'm the wellness editor. And I also I'm kind of in charge of like a lot of our video projects, because I am interested in film and TV. So I try to incorporate a lot of like video and like digital media as well, like onto the website.
That's awesome. So what kind of drew you to Sustain? Obviously you saw that, the Instagram post, but what's your connection with sustainability?
So I've always definitely been someone who's been interested in like environmentalism and saving our planet, and I feel like especially today, in today's world, like we don't really have a choice. If we want to care, we kind of just have to, because of what our ancestors have so wonderfully given us on this earth. It's kind of a mess, so I think it's important that, especially as young people, like we really are the future, and we are the ones who are going to make these changes. So when I saw an opportunity like Sustain, I felt it was like the perfect combination for me to combine like my passion for like social justice and saving the planet and just conserving what we have left, and then also like my love for creativity and writing and film.
It definitely shows. We can definitely tell that you're super passionate about what you're doing, and your whole team is absolutely incredible. You put out articles, you do videos, obviously your social media is incredibly strong. What kind of like community outreach do you guys do? How do you interact with others to build up this idea?
So I think Instagram, this is one like great thing I think has like become with Instagram now. It's a very useful kind of like networking and marketing tool. So we not only do we have our website, but we also try to hold like events every few months, because we really want like Sustain to be more of a community kind of experience. And a lot of our followers now that we've been gaining like are people I regularly see at our events, and like I still stay in touch with them. And even like brands that we've worked with for like shoots or interviews, like I've made personal connections with these people, and like they're like friendships that I'll carry throughout the rest of my life, and I'm like really thankful for that. But some of the events we've done, so our first thing was our launch party, which happened last April. It was like right before or around Earth Day. And we basically just had like a lot of people from St. John's and like others from the community, and we had it on like, we promoted it on different apps, so like a lot of people ended up showing up, and it was actually like really good. And we showcased like local sustainable brands and artists there. And then more recently, we had like our first eco art showcase, and that one like was one of my favorites because I love art, and like combining that with like sustainability was awesome. And we collaborated with over 20 artists from New York, and they all of their work centered around like the earth or the environment or something like that. Like some had like photography of like landscapes and animals, and then others were paintings. We even had like handmade jewelry.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really cool, and we got to partner with different brands, such as like we had this one brand, Akua, who makes kelp jerky, and we had Proud Pour wine, and it's we always try to partner with like other brands and businesses who also are making an effort to like be sustainable in their practices, and we definitely promote like a zero waste lifestyle.
That's really important that you're always looking to collaborate with other companies looking to do the same thing. So getting kind of back to sustain, what are some of the short-term effects that you've seen?
So our short-term effects, we've definitely been rapidly gaining a following on social media, which I think is really good because obviously the more people are following us, the more people are going to read our stories. And basically, I think it's just a lot about education and like promotion. I'm trying to think of the word, like, I don't know, just make awareness, I think. Like making people aware of like what is going on and also like how they can be sustainable in everyday life. So we kind of do things like, oh, you know, don't drink out of plastic water bottles, buy reusable silverware to carry around with you, or just like little things like that. And then also, we're teaching a lot of people to buy secondhand clothing rather than support fast fashion, or like, you really do get what you pay for with your clothing. So like when you're shopping these brands like Forever 21, H&M, they're very cheaply made, and they're made very unethically in like large factories. And so we're trying to make people more aware of the like direct harms on not only the environment but people that these brands like that people are supporting. And we try to highlight definitely buying secondhand is like the best thing you can do right now because there's so much clothing in our landfills and that doesn't decompose, and so it's just like terrible. But yeah, so short-term effects I'd say right now is just basically awareness and education, and also like a lot of networking with other people in the sustainable community.
Yeah, definitely to keep building and hopefully spreading that awesome network.
Yes.
And then long-term effects. So you guys have been around for what?
A little over a year.
Okay, so long-term is obviously a little bit further out. You haven't experienced those long-term effects yet, but what are some things that you hope to see in the long term?
I know one of our main goals is to eventually put out a print issue. We are strictly a digital magazine right now, and we will continue to be so. Obviously, it is more better for the environment because we aren't using paper. And if we do go print, we would definitely do it on like recycled or a sustainable kind of paper. So that's our long term, is to have like a print issue, definitely, with like more long form editorial articles and kind of like, you know, maybe like a coffee table book that someone can just flip through and like be like, oh, interesting.
It's a coffee table book with a purpose.
Yes, like about sustainability and about like, oh, saving the earth through your clothes, through your lifestyle. And it gives it more like a fun approach to sustainability rather than like this daunting thing like, oh my god, the whole like weight of the world is on my shoulders. Like it can be very scary during these times, but like one thing that Sustain has taught me is like, and we are a women-run business, so it just shows the power of like when people come together and also strong women come together. And I think right now we're in the time of like women empowerment. So I just really love the people I work with and the people I'm meeting, because even like other brands that we work with, we all build each other up. Like we aren't like in direct competition with these people. Even other like media sites that do focus on sustainability. Like, there's one, Machne.com, and it's actually ran, I think, it's somewhere in Europe, but the founder is actually close with our founder, Reza, and, like, because of Sustain, they were able to meet, and now Reza's been there, and, like, they visited, so, like, we have, like, an international outreach as well, which is just amazing, because we get to meet so many more people.
That's really awesome. Alyssa, I learned so much about Sustain, and I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of just to chat with me and learn a little bit more about you and your awesome organization.
Thank you so much.